it. I've got to see my little girl.
Well, Delilah, you're going to drive yourself crazy if you think about it.
How can I not think about it? Tomorrow is Sammy's birthday, and it's the first one I've ever missed.
How do you think I feel? I've always made such a big deal out of her birthday. Even when Dee Dee and I were in Europe, we always sent her a big present.
I know, and she always looked forward to it. My little girl's birthday is going to be ruined, and it's all my fault.
No, don't blame yourself. It's not your fault.
You heard what Beau said. That he always provided a gift for Delilah's little girl on her birthday. Even when he was in Europe.
Yes. I think we're headed for another disaster. Hi, darling.
Oh, so what'd you find out?
Thank you. I had a lovely lunch.
Sorry. It's just that I have to know where that editor heard the rumor about Asa wanting to sell off one of his newspapers.
Okay, as I understand it, he got it straight from the horse's mouth.
You mean from Asa?
No, from the managing editor of the newspaper that Asa is supposedly selling.
Damn!
Well, I know you're upset, but darling, if Asa chooses not to hold on to one of his newspapers, that's his decision.
Like hell it's his decision. This little deal has got Beau's name written all over it. He's trying to sell this paper the same way he did the Orca oil wells.
Well, honey, if that's true, then I'm sure Beau has a very good reason. Maybe the paper simply isn't doing well.
Wrong. I checked out the newspaper myself. It's a very popular newspaper, big circulation, good advertising rates, and the bottom line is that it's extremely profitable. Now, everything points to Beau trying to dump a perfectly healthy operation at well below market value.
Honey, why would he want to do that?
That's the real head scratcher, isn't it? Now, what the hell could he be up to? Why would Beau want to turn Buchanan Enterprises into a second-rate holding company by selling off his most profitable operations?
Sweetheart, I really think you should calm down for a moment and think about everything that Beau has done for our family, all right? Especially when you were missing. He was always there for me and for the children. And I don't want you belittling him just because he sees fit to sell off a company or two.
Well, I am not going to roll over and play dead while he takes and drives everything that Asa has worked for into the ground just so he can turn a fast buck.
Maybe you should stop being so stubborn and give your brother a chance to explain. Have a little faith in him.
Oh, I'll give him a chance to explain, all right. And this time he's not going to worm his way out of it with a smile and a handshake.
All right, but please, don't give him the third degree. Just remember everything he's done for this family.
Vicky. Honey, I am trying to protect the well-being of this family. And if he thinks he's going to waltz in here and destroy it a little bit at a time, he's got another thing coming because he's going to have to answer to me.
Well, if you mistreat him in any way, you'll find yourself answering to me. This is exactly the sort of thing I've been afraid of. Something like this could ruin our chances of taking over the Buchanan Empire.
What are we going to do?
I don't know. Somehow we have to prevent ourselves from being tripped up by it. Or I'll never reclaim Sanders Chemical.
Thank heavens I had the good sense to bring our prisoners here to Landview. Information like this is vital, you see. Now, all we have to do is inform Patrick. Have him buy a present for the little girl. If there's anyone in Landview who has their doubts about our Beau, that will convince them once and for all.
Henry, go upstairs and keep Patrick from leaving for the rest of the day, just disappearing, as he has been known to do.
I'm on my way.
Oh, wait a minute. Come on. What makes you think I got this deep, dark secret?
I'm not necessarily saying that it's a deep, dark secret, but I know you're harboring something. I mean, it's the only reason I can come up with why you've been behaving so strangely.
Have I been behaving strangely?
Well, you did manage to get us stranded in a car overnight.
I ran out of gas, yeah.
Right, uh-huh. And then when we finally did get to Clint and Vicky's cabin, you had to do a 180 and rush back to town.
Well, I had a real important assignment. I mean, that's why we went up there in the first place, so I could get that lens.
Okay, I'm going to really try hard to believe this. If you will take advantage of the free time I have now and take a walk with me in the park.
I'd love to, but I can't, unfortunately.
Any particular reason, or is it another secret?
No, I got another one of those very important appointments, Scott's honor.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a break this time. But, you know I'm gonna find out the truth sooner or later.
Right. Take care. Thanks. I'll talk real soon.
Wait, Court, I want to talk. Bye. Looks like I have yet another thing to add to your list of strange behavior.
I sent Dr. Bruner ahead because I wanted to speak to you alone.
What about?
I was wondering if you've gotten any signals from Joanna or Rob, or any of their many friends that keep traipsing through this place.
What sort of signals?
You know, like, hey, I know what you guys are up to.
Well, Joanna's got her head in the clouds over marrying this American chap. God only knows why. So I doubt if she's onto us. But Robert's a bit more difficult to read.
I think you better keep your eye on him. I don't want anybody ruining this plan.
Well, don't worry. He won't be able to breathe around here without my knowing about it.
That's great. Thanks a lot, Garth.
Bo? What? Bo, wait. Thank heavens I caught you.
Well, what's wrong now, Henry?
Elizabeth and I have just overheard the real Bo talking about never forgetting Sammy's birthday.
Sammy, Delilah's kid?
Yes, and it seems that it's tomorrow, and he always provides a gift. Now, if you don't do the same, Rafe is bound to wonder why.
All right. I'll pick up a present. I'll take it by for the little rugrat.
Good. That will save us from yet one more near disaster.
Yeah. Listen, speaking of disasters, where's Elizabeth? I mean, did you finally wise up and lock her in that bomb shelter, too?
No, she's still downstairs, worrying.
All right, do me a favor. From now on, keep her off my back. I'm sick and tired of her jumping on me every time she feels like it.
Patience, dear boy. I can assure you that this will be over very, very soon.
Yeah, well, not soon enough. Listen, I'm gonna go by and I'm gonna see Vicky. Then I'll pick the other thing up, okay?
Was she born with that hair color, or is that your doing?
In salons, the talk is about Miss Clairol. Miss Clairol, the colors hairdressers choose more often than any other hair color.
If I could be a blonde like that, I...
What made you think that I would want to discuss my personal business with a total stranger?
Look, I happen to know that Renee did not owe you any money. Someone paid you to make that call. Now, I am willing to raise the stakes if you tell me who and why.
17.
That's it. I'm gonna try my luck on the slots.
What were you saying about raising the stakes?
You give me the information I need, and I will give you anything you want.
Well, if you're offering me more money, I don't need it. I'm on a roll.
That's right. That's right. And when did that happen?
All right, Jim. What are you talking about?
Look, when I first came here, you were losing big time. Now look at the stack of chips in front of you. Don't you see? I'm your lucky charm.
Well, maybe you're right.
I'd be willing to stick around if you're going to tell me what I want to know.
Tell you what, you stay put. See how my luck holds out? Who knows? Maybe we can do business after all.
I'm telling you, you should have seen Clint. He was really steamed. He was hell-bent on getting some answers out of Bo.
I wish he could get some answers to some of our questions.
Yeah, well, I really tried to play it cool with Clint. I mean, he already knows about the serious doubts I've had about Bo since day one. I didn't want to come on like gangbusters because if I had, I'm sure he would have said something to Bo, and Bo would have thought he needed to be on more guard against me than he already is.
Yeah, I think you're right. But Bo is only one piece to this puzzle. My father's note was cryptic, but it was clear. The answer to this mystery lies in Wellesley Hall, which means that Lord Henry is tied up in all this.
Let's figure out again what we've got here. We've got the fact that Bo has got this uncharacteristic behavior. We know that he's got this medical prowess that nobody seems to know where the hell that came from. We've got the picture of him that we found in Wellesley Hall, and we also know that somehow he is tied to Lord Henry.
All right, I've got something else for the list.
What?
When I was on my way over here, Bo was at Stonecrest rubbing elbows with Henry and Garth Buckley. Now, I couldn't hear what they were saying, but they looked rather cozy. And Elizabeth was nowhere to be found, which means we can stop chalking it up to Bo hanging around talking about Sanders Chemicals.
Lord, there is something going on here, but why the hell can't we figure it out?
We need some answers, which means we might have to take some risks.
Like what?
I've seen Lord Henry's briefcase lying around Stonecrest, and I am convinced that if I can sneak a peek at some of his private papers, I can come up with some answers.
Well, I think you're right. Yes, you could come up with some answers, but it's also very risky, Rob.
Well, it's a chance we're going to have to take, especially if I'm going to get out of this marriage that I am trapped in and be free to talk and patch things up with Cassie and me.
Look, we have all got a lot at stake here, all right? Now, we got to come up with some... Oh, Lord, I don't know what kind of an idiot I've been.
What?
You know, all along, people have been saying that Beau's been acting strange because of this ugly divorce that he's gone through, right? And that all we have to do is talk to his ex-wife, Dee Dee.
Yeah, but what good is that going to do? I mean, you said they've been separated for months.
No, I'm sure she must have been in touch with him at some point during that time. She must have known where he's been for this last year, right?
Is there a way for you to reach her?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Her uncle, Pete O'Neill. I'll just give him a call. I'm sure he's got a number. Damn, I can't believe I didn't think of this sooner.
All right. It's a long shot, but I say go for it. But be careful. She may be tied up in this, too.
Good point. I'll have to test the waters before I plunge right in. Now, listen, you take care of yourself, all right?
I will. Back to the trenches.
Yeah. Good luck, huh?
Well, we'll both need it before this situation turns into an avalanche that will bury us both.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Honey, what is behind this sudden lack of trust in your brother?
Well, it isn't all that cut and dried. But ever since I came back, there's been these little changes in Beau that keep cropping up like weeds in a garden.
Honey, he has been through an awful lot the last 6 months. And having Dee Dee leave him for another man, that's bound to have had some sort of an effect on him.
Oh, I can understand that. Something like that is bound to drive any man's self-esteem into a tailspin. But it isn't. It isn't going to change his basic sense of common decency and compassion. If anything, Beau always cared about people. He wouldn't dream of causing them pain and suffering.
Sounds just like the Beau who stuck by his family.
Well, it doesn't sound anything like the Beau who was ready to put a whole town on the rocks, let it go belly up so he could make a few bucks.
Have you ever considered the possibility that you might be jealous?
You're joking, of course.
No. No, I'm not joking. I have this feeling that all this suspicion and this concern about Beau being at the head of the company is in some way, I don't know, an attempt on your part to compete with Beau for your father's affection and attention.
Oh, really? You know, if you took that little theory and planted it on the moon, you couldn't be further from the truth.
I'm not so sure.
Well, as long as we're playing sidewalk psychiatrist here, what about your inability to find any fault, whatever, with any member of this family?
Well, that's not true.
Oh, isn't it? What about Tina? Tina has been in more scrapes than a pack of wild dogs. And who is the first one to come to her defense?
All right. I will admit that on certain occasions, several occasions, I have been somewhat short-sighted when it comes to my sister.
Short-sighted? An optometrist could retire just on what he'd make selling you rose-colored glasses.
Honey, are you trying to escalate this to a fight?
You're right. I apologize. The subject isn't Tina, it's Beau.
No, the subject is you and why you criticize every single business move that Beau has made recently.
Why? Because I'll be damned if I'm going to let Beau destroy everything that Pa has worked for all his life.
Hey. Is a private battle going on in here, or can anybody join?
Freedom's the one.
If you've got...
Damn, it's locked. Wonder why.
What the hell do you think you're doing?
Nothing.
Don't play cute with me. Why were you trying to force the lock on Lord Henry's briefcase?
You're crazy. I was doing nothing of the sort.
Oh, yes? What have you got in your hand?
Hey, this is my house. It's none of your damn business.
I get paid by Lord Henry to make it my business when creeps like you try to break into his personal belongings.
Look, take your tough guy act somewhere else.
Somebody ought to teach you that it's not polite to shove.
Yeah? You got some sort of lesson plan?
Now then, what's going on?
Your son-in-law was trying to jimmy the lock on your briefcase.
Oh, you're losing it, pal. Anybody can tell that the lock hasn't been touched.
Only because I stopped you in time.
You're nuts. Why would I want to break into my father-in-law's briefcase?
Apologize, Garth. What? Robert is right. The lock has not been touched. You owe him an apology.
Forget it. It's not important, Lord Henry.
And I say it is. Now, Garth, apologize to my son-in-law for falsely accusing him.
Not until he opens his hand and shows you what he has in it.
Really, Garth?
It's okay. Satisfied?
The other hand.
Well, Garth, I'm waiting.
Well, I'm sorry, Robert. I hope there'll be no hard feelings.
Yeah, operator, have you got that call to Malakeva for me yet? Thank you. Hello, Pam? Pam, hi, how you doing? It's Cord Roberts. Oh, fine. I'm fine, thanks. Listen, the reason I'm calling is, I'm wondering if Pete maybe has Dee Dee's phone number in Europe. Oh, Pete's in Europe himself right now. Well, what do you mean you haven't heard from Dee Dee? When was the last time you got a letter from her? About a month ago, huh? Yeah, well, we were all a little concerned and shocked when we heard about the divorce, so we just wanted to, Uh-huh. Listen, will you do me a favor? When you talk to Pete, will you have him give me a call? It's real important. Yeah, and also, could you do me a favor and get all of the letters that Dee Dee has sent to Pete in the last 2 years and put them in an envelope and express them to me right away? Oh, well, that's kind of complicated to get into right now over the phone, long distance and everything. But I think I may be able to help you out. Yeah. You can just send them right over to the mansion. That's where I'm staying these days. Oh, Lord, Pam, I wish I knew what was going on here. But I'm telling you, something is going down. And we had better figure out what it is before it gets any worse.
Hi, Vicky.
Hi.
Clint. Listen, did I stop by at a bad time?
No, hell no. I was fixing to call you anyway. A couple of things I want to talk to you about.
Oh?
Yeah, I did some checking around. Came across a pretty reliable broker who said that, well, he figured Buchanan Enterprises could have made a lot more money on the sale of those oil wells.
Oh, brokers. I love brokers, I swear. They love to come in after a deal's already closed. You know, the real question is, where was this guy when we needed him, huh?
Well, maybe if you hadn't have been so anxious and sold off to the first bidder that came along, maybe you'd have run into this guy and gotten a little better price.
Or maybe we would have lost our buyer, and then we would be sitting on Orca and having to take a loss.
Makes sense.
Well, you know, actually, there is a very, very valuable lesson to be learned here, and I think what I'm going to do is take my time and give it a little more thought before I close another deal.
Good. Maybe you can put that into operation when you sell this newspaper.
Who said anything about selling off one of our newspapers?
Oh, Vicky and I heard a rumor that Buchanan Enterprises was looking to unload one of the major southwestern newspapers.
Where did you hear a rumor like that?
I had lunch with an out-of-town editor who heard it from the managing editor of the newspaper in question.
Well, now that sounds a little bit like third-hand info to me.
I don't care if it comes from a newsboy selling papers in the suburbs. Now quit stalling, Bo. Give me a straight answer. Is it true that you're looking to dump another company asset?
Honey, this is not an inquisition.
No, Vicky, you know, I don't blame Clint at all for chomping at the bit on this one. I give you my word, Clint, I have no idea where this rumor came from.
That is not what I asked you.
Well, what do you want me to say? You want me to say I'm sorry because I didn't consult you about selling those oil wells?
Quit stalling and stop trying to change the subject, Bo.
I'm not. I'm just trying to make you see that the business deals that I've made were meant to help Buchanan Enterprises.
Really?
Not hurt it.
How?
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 By consolidating some of Ace's holdings. No, Pa always told me the first rule of business is that you take the capital from companies that really aren't cutting it. You take that money and you use it to build up your other holdings.
Well, I checked out that newspaper. Seemed to be cutting it pretty damn well to me.
Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to assure you that I have no intention of selling off any of our Southwest holdings, okay? I didn't come by here to talk about a lot of boring business deals. I wanted to say hi to my brother. I wanted to see my favorite sister-in-law.
Oh, I'm your only sister-in-law.
Yeah, but if I had 1,000 of them, you know you'd still be my favorite. You know what? I've got an appointment. I'd love to stay here and talk some more, but I gotta run.
Bye-bye, hon.
I'll see you two.
Satisfied?
No, I'm not satisfied. I got more questions now than I did before he danced in here. Questions which he no doubt will find some way to avoid.
Hey, he answered you here and now, today. You just didn't happen to like the answers.
He's done it again. He's done it again. He flashed the old pearlies at you, and you went for it, hook, line, and sinker, like some schoolgirl on her first date.
I'm sorry. I happen to think that he's telling the truth.
Well, I happen to disagree with you. And I'm not letting up on him till I find out what the hell he's up to.